Okay, guys, today we are going to do our very first lesson of making meaning. You can sit down, sweetheart. Today we're going to learn the procedures for gathering for a read aloud. You're going to hear and discuss a story, answer questions about the key details in the story. We're going to listen carefully, and we're going to gather in a responsible way. I know most of you that were here last year did Making Meaning, and that is like a classroom community. In first grade, I know you all did this. So we're going to do that. We're going to make, reading is so powerful, and we're going to make, we're going to do that this year. You're going to gather to hear stories and read aloud and talk about them. This is where we're going to sit. Briley? No, ma'am. This is where we're going to sit. We've already made this. Our reading, we are in order, our number order. However, we're going to do some partner read or like kind of discuss or turn and talk. And when we do that, you might have the same partner for like a month, and then I'll switch it up. So we'll always have different partners. Also, when you have your different partners, Sutton, please. When we have our different partners, you're going to have two people, and one of you is going to talk, and then we're going to learn rules on how to talk and share. When I say it's time to go to the carpet, I expect you to walk quickly. Or today, like what I said is, okay guys, in about 3 minutes, we're going to do our story. You all put up your books. Great job. You've already got those. You already know those procedures. So you got those down really well, which is good. Walk quickly, quietly, without bumping into someone. You should be sitting on your pockets. So the ones that are over there rolling around off the carpet, that is not acceptable, okay? And make sure you sit where you have room on the rug and everyone is quietly seated, okay? And that's when we're gonna start. I love the way you're sitting here and giving all of this room for this. This all looks really good. You've done a really good job. But I only see 3 rows. We should have 4. Are we missing? Who's in the 4th row?
Us.
Who's in the 3rd row?
What? She's not supposed to be right here because she's 13.
What number are you?
12.
So she is 13.
No, Kinley's 12. No? L comes before L. So you switched me and Kinley around.
So you're 11.
No, I was 11 before.
So you're 12. And she's 13?
Yeah, but Kate. Yeah.
So, who sits on the corner? So you need to scoot over, and so do you, because that's actually Kinley's spot. So we're missing this person, and that's it. So you need to be closer to her. There we go. Now we've got it, okay? Are you 11?
12.
Okay, perfect. You're in a good spot. Okay, so I'm going to show you the cover of the book that we are going to read. It is called Macduff Moves In, and I love this book. And I realized as I read you books, I always say, this is my favorite. So I'm not going to say that. So it's one of my favorites. The author is Rosemary Wells, and the person with the pictures is the illustrator, and it's Susan Jeffers. What can you tell me about this book? Thank you, Peyton. Already, yes?
It's raining outside.
Oh, it's raining outside. Riley?
There's a dog.
It's about a dog, yes. Peyton?
There's a big puddle outside.
There's a big puddle outside. Yes, Elijah?
The dog's alone.
The dog's alone. And does he look happy? Not really. So he might be lonely. Jackson, what do you see?
It looks like my grandma's dog.
Okay, he just made a connection. it looks like this would be a text to self connection. He said, that looks like my grandma's dog. Very good. We've been reading about connections or learning about connections. Very good. I like that. Yes?
The dog's gonna move in somewhere.
Well, because of the title, Caleb says the dog's going to move in somewhere. Let's see where that somewhere is, okay? I got to show you this. That is such a cool little eye catcher. That's a really good thing that illustrator did.
My dog, when he goes down the stairs, his tail.
Macduff moves in. In the back of a dog catcher's truck sat a little white dog nobody wanted. Thump went the truck over a bump in the road. The little dog popped out into the night. He tumbled onto the soft earth of a tulip bed. He did not know where he was. He needed something to eat. He needed a warm place to sleep, so he went looking. Woof, said the little white dog at the front door of number 6, Pine Road, but the answer from the other side was a growl. Woof, he said on the front steps of number 12, Oak Lane, but someone said, hiss, from the woodpile. Strange voices hooted and whistled at him from the trees. Many pairs of eyes winked and blinked at him from the darkness of people's gardens. Rain poured down. It swirled and swept around him. Suddenly the wind came up. It blew the clouds and rain away. And the moon smiled full on the world. Through an open window in the kitchen of number 7 Elm Road wafted the smell of vanilla rice pudding and sausages. Woof, 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 said the little white dog. Wafted. What do you think wafted means after hearing that page? And if you don't know, let's see what makes sense. Wafted. Briley. Okay, it says, let's look. Through an open window in the kitchen of number 7, wafted, and you said what? Happy the smell of vanilla rice pudding. Wafted. What does that mean? Wafted.
Smell it?
Well, it says wafted the smell. So I think
He smelled up the smell into his nostrils.
I love it. He smelled the smell in his nostrils. Wafted is when someone is in your kitchen making bacon and that smell of bacon just kind of wafts, floats right around. It says wafted is, I would say, like floated in the air. Let me see. I know there is one, a real wafted, okay? Let's see. Nobody growled at him. Nobody hissed at him. Somebody opened the door and asked him to come in. It was Lucy. "This is Fred," said Lucy. No one had ever asked him to come in. Everyone had always told him to go away. I bet this is making him feel good.
And welcoming.
And welcoming. What does this caller say, said Fred. Animal number 47, City Dog Pound, said Lucy. He needs help, said Fred. Lucy spooned out a dish of vanilla rice pudding. She sliced sausages on top of it. He's hungry, she said. After a coconut bath, he looked like a snow cloud. We certainly can't keep him, Fred said. We're much too busy. I guess we'll have to take him to the dog pound, said Lucy. So they brought him in the car. Fred drove up and down and around. You're going in circles, Fred, said Lucy. I don't want to find the dog pound, said Fred. I don't want you to either, said Lucy. What do you think might happen? Raise your hand, Serenity.
And they're going to take care of him.
They might try to take care of him.
They're going to keep him.
She thinks they're going to keep him. That's called inference.
They're going to adopt him.
Okay, adopt him. Let's see. Fred and Lucy brought their new friend home, and he needs a name, said Fred. They celebrated with hot chocolate. Lucy opened a tin of McDuff's melt-in-your-mouth shortbread biscuits. That's it, said Fred. Woof, woof, said McDuff. They got his name from the cookie jar. The night was nearly gone. The rain clattered and spattered over everything. Lucy and Fred and McDuff fell sound asleep. How happy we are, she said in their dreams. And look, Fred is holding McDuff's hand on the floor paw. What a sweet story. I love that story. Okay, so we read the story, and wafted means floated, kind of like the smell floats in your nostrils, like you said. Why does the little white dog go to Fred and Lucy's house? Kyler.
To find an owner.
Okay. But why did he choose to go to that house?
So then he has shelter.
So he had somewhere to go, yes.
So because he wanted to maybe see if they wanted to adopt him.
Okay. Serenity?
He went to many houses, and then he went to that one, and then the owners brought him in.
Okay, she kind of touched on it. Why do you think that he went, what made him go to that house? I know he tried some others. Collins?
Because he smelled the food.
He smelled the vanilla rice pudding and sausages. Wouldn't that make a hungry dog want to go there?
Yeah.
Very inviting. Okay, put your hands down for just a second. Why do you think Fred drives around in circles? Lila?
Because they were going to adopt the dog instead.
Okay, he changed his mind. He didn't really want to go.
He didn't want to adopt another dog.
Yeah, he was kind of like wasting time, stalling. He did not want to drop off McDuff or the unknown name dog at the time. How does Fred and Lucy come up with the name for McDuff? Do you all remember that? Briley.
The cookie jar.
The cookies, the big, fresh, melt in your mouth tin of cookies. I'd like you to raise your hand, but what did you enjoy about hearing and discussing the story McDuff moves in today? What did you really enjoy in that book? Melanie, the birthday girl. When they adopted him. Yes, when he went walking around the neighborhood. Peyton.
When the guy was holding McDuff's hand.
I loved that part too. I'll take one more. I think I'm gonna take Johnny.
When when the dog was in their house, and they were driving to decided to
Change his mind. Yeah, that's a good one. Johnny said when they were driving to the shelter and they changed their mind and decided to keep him. One of my favorite parts, I liked all those parts, but one of them was when he finally got some food in his tummy and they gave him a bath. I really liked that because that was some needs that he really needed. We are going to revisit Macduff Moves In tomorrow in our next lesson. I would like you to, row 1, slowly return to your desks. Row 1. Can you go ahead and turn that off?